Welcome everyone to episode 3 of the MFFL Nation podcast. I'm here today with my man Jake from Mavs_FFL. And Jake, how's it going, man? Second time having you on the show.
It's going great, Mason. I appreciate you having me back, man. We must be doing something right if you're bringing me back on.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's nice to talk with someone who loves the Mavs basketball as much as myself. So, as usual, let's get straight into it. The big talk for the Mavericks right now is the Christian Wood trade. We traded 4 guys that just didn't do shit for us in the postseason. And, you could say they had a mild effect for the team in the regular season, but got rid of Boban, which sucks to see. Boban's definitely a fan favorite for Dallas. And, guys like Trey, Sterling, and I'm spacing out on Marquise Chris for Christian Wood, a double-double machine in the NBA, someone who I think is going to bring a lot of energy to the Mavericks. And I tweeted a few weeks ago, talking about the Mavs they needed a 2011 Tyson Chandler, and not the same player, but someone who's going to get you rebounds, someone who can block shots. And the great addition about him is that he can shoot. He was a little under 40% from 3. So I'm stoked on it, man. Let's hear what you guys say about that.
Yeah, man, you're exactly right. It's the best center we've had since Tyson. It's a guy that can rebound. It's a guy that has a 7'3" wingspan. Sure, he's a little bit of a stretch, like you said, but he shoots 40%. Say what you want about him playing for the Rockets. You can't fake 3-point percentage, especially off all the attempts that he had per game. The guy's legit. I'm shocked why some people are underwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed, especially because, like you said, we traded 4 guys that never played, and a 26th pick, which will be lucky to be in the league 2 years, for a center, just like we were talking about last podcast. Exactly what we need is center. Sure, he's a little bit shorter, but he makes up for it with his wingspan.
Yeah, bro, this trade caught me off guard so much. I'm literally sitting down at dinner during vacation, and I'm getting texts. I recently got a job at the Smoking Cuban writing articles there, and I get a text from the people who also work there saying Mavs got Christian Wood, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like, they were like, the offseason has barely begun, and so no, I was super happy about that. Like I said, I think he's going to be a great addition to the team. I think this is going to help us a lot to have someone who is a consistent threat on the offensive side, who can score for us as a center, do his job on defense, get rebounds. I was doing the math. The Mavs got demolished in the rebound battle against the Warriors. So I think that's a great thing. But one thing that I do want to jump on real quick is Bleacher Report, ESPN, they all came out with their 2022-23 rankings. And I forget, you may know who, I don't know if it's ESPN or Bleacher, they had us at 5 behind the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I posted that. I believe it was Bleacher Report.
Yeah, so I thought, as Stephen A. Smith usually says, it's blasphemous. I don't know how the Memphis Grizzlies are in front of us, dude.
Yeah, I don't either. I was perplexed. I know they had a hot little playoff run, but in the end, we went further, so it seems like a no-brainer. But I don't know. I guess Ja is a big name, so maybe they did it for the clicks.
Yeah, no, there's always weird stuff going on in the sports world, and it's always, sometimes I feel like it's the reporters being biased and all of that. But I'll take the top 5. I saw a few more rankings where the Mavs were behind the Clippers, which I get. Kawhi was hurt, but you can't do that, I feel like. And there was another team. It was the Clippers and the Nuggets, because they didn't have Jamal Murray, and it just doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, you're right about the Clippers. You can make an argument if they're healthy. And I mean, with Jamal Murray and Michael Porter, it's almost less disrespectful than the Grizzlies. But I mean, as biased as I am, I still think we're a step above both those teams, especially with Wood.
Right. I definitely agree with you. And, you and I both are on Twitter a lot. What do you think the Mavs are going to do? And, this isn't like an interview. This is like a pod, like we go back and forth and all that shit. But I want to know what you think. Do you think Nico makes another big move this offseason?
Yeah, I mean, he's even said that he is. I really think what the move is going to be is a Tim Hardaway, Josh Green, Dwight Powell, some sort of package like that for a wing. I would have loved for it to be Jeremy Grant. Obviously, he's gone, but that trade was a robbery, by the way. But I think Hardaway is gone, and likely Josh Green is gone, and I think it's for an athletic defensive wing.
Yeah, I agree with you. See, the only thing is that as much as I'd love to have that kind of package trade, I don't think any team's going to be willing to take Hardaway and Powell.
Yeah, that's a huge financial hit, and one of the only teams that could have taken a hit like that is Detroit. So yeah, I mean, you're right. I'm being optimistic, but realistically, it'll probably be Hardaway. You can't even throw Bertans in every. Yeah, I think a big trade around Hardaway.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the Mavs are going to be broke after we are re-signing Brunson. Let's get that out there. Jalen Brunson is coming back to the Mavericks. Okay. Yeah, I'm tired of this bullshit New York Knicks thing. Like it's not happening. I don't care if his dad got hired there. I don't care. He's coming back to the Mavericks. It annoys me so much to see that people think he's actually going to go to New York, and now they're hating on us saying he's not good.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say about the Knicks fans saying that, but I agree. There's just no reason other than if they pay him like $200 million, but even then they don't have the cap for that. I'm not worried at all either. I mean, why would you go to New York? Everyone knows about James Dolan.
Yeah, no, everyone literally. And someone who I think the Mavs are going to, and you can give me a few of your targets you'd like to pursue in free agency and everything with the little money we have. I think it's the TLE money. I like Goran Dragic. I think it's a great fit. He's a veteran. We could give them the veteran minimum. And he's super close with Luka. He could be a guy that we have come off the bench. He's a facilitator. One thing I've been watching a lot of Dragic film this past week. He's great with when he gets into the paint, whether it's facilitating or getting a mid-range shot, which I think is going to be big with Christian Wood. Once a guard gets in the paint, that's a lob. So I think that's my number one target for the Mavs to add someone because I think he'll be a great fit for us this year.
Yeah, I love that. Most importantly, I mean, he's best friends with Luka. We lost another one of Luka's best friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. I think Dragic will be good. Granted, we've been saying this for what now, like 2-3 years. Yeah. But I kind of like Nick Batum, PJ Tucker, but that's there's no way he would sign for that little money. But
Philly.
No, I like Goran. Is he committed to Philly? I hadn't been following that today.
He's not committed to Philly, but they're saying that they may be offering him like a 3-year 30. Nothing official. There's just rumors. He may not even go to Philly. There's so many rumors. Like I saw on Twitter yesterday that Brad Beal, it was saying like he opted out, and he like tweeted like what the fuck are you talking about? Like I never said it. So there's always rumors, dude.
Yeah, I saw speaking of rumors, I saw Miles Turner tweeted, obviously he lives in Dallas, take this for what it is, but he tweeted, he's like Dallas is always home, and we ran with that. But it's fun. I mean, nothing's better than draft and free agency NBA Twitter. It's just you really can't beat it, bro.
Yeah. The draft, free agency, and playoffs. That's where it gets interesting. And the drafts, I think it's tomorrow. So
dude. Yeah, my coworker said that, and I was baffled because after our podcast was quite literally the last time I thought about it, because the next day we made that trade. Yeah. So yeah, we might try to trade back in. I don't know. I don't think anyone that would be in the second round will be worth it, but you never know.
I definitely think there's going to be a few guys. There's always a few guys. I mean, look, JB was like one of the first picks in the second round, but look what he turned out to be. But I could see the Mavs making a move tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised. I think the only thing is that Nico, if there was this website that posted all the guys that the Mavs had hosted for workouts, and it was just a few, probably the least amount in the NBA. So I'm not sure if they'll make a move. I wouldn't be surprised though.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, you told me you're pretty confident we're going to trade the picks, so I believe you now. But
Yeah.
one thing about them,
No,
one
go
thing
ahead.
about the Mavs, one thing about the Mavs is they're always so low key with rumors, trades. No one saw Christian Wood. It just happened. They're so tight lipped. I don't think they announced who they were working out. I know there was more people than what was announced, but yeah, I could see him trading in for sure, especially because those second round picks really go for cheap, and I legitimately would trade Josh Green for an early second round pick just to get off his first round contract.
I definitely agree with you. Speaking about draft picks, the Jeremy Grant trade today, that's the biggest robbery I've seen other than Christian Wood. I mean, a 2025 pick. What?
Yeah, that's a bigger robbery. I saw the notification. I thought I turned off Shams when the Christian Wood notification came on, but I didn't for my personal. And when I saw his name and I got so excited, and I saw that 2025 pick, and it blew my mind. I guess his contract's expiring soon, but even to get him for a year, I mean, come on, that's blasphemy.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I gotta ask you this question, man. Brad Beal, would you do a sign and trade?
Are you talking about with Brunson?
Yeah.
I would. I hate to say it, but I would. He's just a better
Me too.
player. The only reason I answered so fast on that today because I saw people tweeting about it, but it'd be tough just because Brunson's younger. But yeah, I mean, he's an all-star.
Yeah, I agree with you there, man. It'd be hard to pass up on a Brad Beal. I think the Mavs would have to throw in a little more, which I don't know, man. It would suck to see JB go. It would, and I don't know. I still think we can maybe do something with Miles Turner. It's just money's a pain in the ass right now.
It really is, and that's the thing. Like you look at the other teams that are in the luxury tax, it's like the Warriors and teams like that. So we're not quite at that caliber, but I really think we're going to get off some of these contracts one way or another.
Yeah, I agree with you. And while we're on the trade talk, there's been, and all things Mavs has been pretty big on it lately on Twitter. There's been a lot of Mavs fans wanting OG Anunoby. Um, I don't know if the Mavs would put Brunson in there or it'd be like a package with Hardaway and Powell. But I would.
Mhm.
We got Anunoby, man. That's a scary team.
That is a scary team. I'm trying to think how that would even be possible. I guess Brunson, but dude, he's quite literally the perfect player next to Luka. It's like Dorian, but just better at every single category, just about with all due respect.
Right. I agree with you, man. Is there anything you wanna talk about? I mean, I don't know. This off season's crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it really is. I'm trying to think. What was I talking about today on Twitter? There's a few things that we could touch on, but I am curious though, because you were talking about some of these free agents, like the cheaper ones. Do you have any other guys on your radar?
I really like Batum. I do. I don't think Dallas will land him. I could pull up some more guys, but there's so many cheap guys. Dude, when I tell you, I would have been so happy if the Mavs would have pursued Mitchell Robinson, but it's sort of worthless right now. Um, I could see it, the Mavs possibly pursuing Dragic. I just don't know if Nico's interested, and that's the main person. Luca means a lot, obviously, to the team, but it comes down to Nico's decision.
Yeah, you're right though. He would have gotten Goran if he wanted to the first time around. So maybe he's not interested. And
Yeah.
in terms of like TP MLE guys, I'm thinking like Derek Jones Jr., like Malik Monk. I don't think you can get Oladipo, but shoot, even like an Otto Porter, like
Otto Porter.
we're gonna get guys like that, or at least there's gonna be rumors about guys like that because I mean the money's not there, but there's a lot of those caliber guys on the market, which is a good thing.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there. And one thing I've been hearing in rumors is that the Mavs Rockets trade, obviously, Mavs fans should know that's not official yet. It goes through after the 26th pick, it becomes official. But
Mhm.
I'm hearing that there may be some additions to that trade. I'm
Really,
hearing,
I haven't heard that, but yeah, they could throw in anything. Really, they
I'm
can
hearing,
add to it. They
I'm
can
hearing
adjust it.
green. I'm hearing green.
Okay, go ahead. He's paid too much money.
Yeah, I have it. I
Not
have it right
good
around
on
here.
offense.
Yeah.
I missed that today. I'm gonna have to tweet that live on the pod. Give you credit.
Yeah, for sure, man. But I I can't find it right now. It's sort of pissing me off. I had it right here. Um, yeah, they're trying to expand the Wood trade apparently. On low post with Giovanni, they mentioned Dallas may be getting Josh Green mentioned in the trade, which I don't know. I don't know the rules exactly, but if we throw in Josh Green, do you think there's a chance we could get Eric Gordon?
Yeah, could you pull up Gordon's contract on your computer? It depends on what that is, but I'm down. I
Oh
mean,
yeah. I
come
think
on
that I
now.
think the thing for the Mavs is that I want them to have a few vets on their team. I think it's important.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing is we're not a young team, but we're kind of in a weird spot where we don't have many vets either, at all. So yeah, I agree. And he's like,
He's
he's
18 mil.
essentially he would be what we wanted. Who's the guy we just traded back to them? I'm completely blanking. The guy we got from the Rockets. Yeah, thank you. He would be what we wanted Sterling Brown to be.
Yeah, I agree. He's 18 mil though.
Yeah, okay. Disregard.
Yeah, disregard that one. But no, I'm looking at cheap unrestricted free agents right now. There's a few that
Yeah.
stand out to me. DeAndre Jordan's interesting. I think DeMarcus Cousins is interesting. I think, hell, even you may get mad at me for this one, Lance Stevenson.
Yeah, I don't know about Lance. What about is Nerlens a free agent?
I'm not seeing him in the cheap section.
Oh yeah, he wouldn't be cheap, so yeah, that's probably irrelevant. But bring
Bielitsa.
Nerlens back. Hot dog gate.
What about Bielitsa?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that the Mavs fans have to understand is we have 4 empty roster spots. Plus, we need an entire summer league team. Like they're gonna have to bring in a lot of guys like that, and even guys that are lower caliber because they're gonna need guys to sign for the minimum. So yeah, I mean that's fine. Bring them on.
Would you be interested? All things Mavs talking about it. I think I don't know if you have, but Tyreek Evans obviously is doing tryouts with the Mavs. Yes, was he a great player? Is he now? I don't think so.
No, he's not, dude. They worked out like half the league.
Yeah.
They worked out. I listed it out. It almost took 2 tweets. But yeah, Tyreek Evans. I mean, that guy hasn't played in the league since 18. He's past his prime. But I'm curious. A lot of times like that, it's political. Is in like his agent will be the agent of another big NBA player, and the Mavs are just doing it as a favor. I'm not too sure who his agent is, but a lot of times that's the deal with those.
Yeah, I see that there. Who else are the Mavs trying out? Are there any big names in there?
No, it was him. Let me pull that list. It was like the last 2 names were quote unquote bigger, but none of the guys that I see like legitimately making the roster, honestly.
Yeah, and I don't know. I could see. Do you think Nico would do a second round pick and give away Josh Green?
Yeah, I do. It just makes too much sense. We're trying to get off money. You're looking at guys that are taking up money and not playing it. Like, yes, he's young and he technically was our only young asset, but I mean, at least a second round guy could be like a 2-way per se, or they could at least be like someone we could be excited about. Okay, sorry, I found the Mavs draft. Andrew Andrews. I know that's a funny name, but he's decent. I watched his tape, and then Dion Waiters is the name that I was missing.
Yeah.
He'd be fun to watch. I mean, even if it was in Frisco.
Yeah. I gotta ask you. We traded the 26th pick. Were you in pain about Jovic after that?
Yes, very much so, but also no, because I saw him mocked at 15 and I've seen him mocked at 20. So like who knows, man? Maybe the Mavs were all sold on Jovic, and when they saw him rising up, they dipped. So, I mean, that's of course that's just me throwing stuff out there. But I'm sad we're gonna lose out on him because I really do think a few years down the line he's gonna be a beast. But he won't ever be as good as Christian Wood, so I'm happy.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's late first round are either like you hit big or it's G League. Um, there's really never like an in between with those guys. So I'm not
Yep.
too worried. I'm stoked to have Christian Wood because you know what you're getting. There's you're not gonna be like surprised with anything, you know?
Yeah, man. I was going to battle with Rockets fans because they were saying essentially like, yeah, we're gonna get the 26th pick. Oh, it's gonna be a beast. Christian Wood is garbage. I'm like, I was getting so angry because, like you said, Christian Wood, we know what he is. Like, sure, he had an attitude problem. He had to play in Houston. Sure, his defense wasn't great, but you're on a good team. Look what Jason Kidd did with Luka's defense. Like, he's going to improve defensively. He's on a contract year, so he's going to want to ball out. Like, for them to act like they won the trade is just nuts.
Right. And that's the point that I love you just brought up. He's on a contract year. He's going to be playing, he's going to be trying to, and you're on mute, by the way, he's going to be trying to play his best basketball of the season.
Yeah, look at Jalen Brunson. Same concept. Like, JB's numbers will be slightly down next year. He's not playing for his life.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's just a mental thing. And something that was funny today on Twitter was, I don't know, I think you may have saw it, but Allen Robinson tweeted about Bradley Beal coming to Dallas and said that's a legitimate starting five right there. I tweeted back to him and said, well, Allen, he put in Dwight Powell in the starting lineup over Reggie or Tim. So, well, Allen, DP wouldn't start, but you're right. That's an elite team, but you know what's better if you're in a Cowboys jersey. Um, so just some Twitter gossip there for you.
Bro, I saw that tweet. I didn't see your quote tweet. That's hilarious. But I didn't know. I didn't know he was a Mavs fan. Like, I was trying to figure out why. And I mean, he's from I think Michigan, and I couldn't really figure it out. I didn't realize he was a Mavs fan.
I mean, he may have just seen Perk talking about it on ESPN or something. Who knows?
Yeah,
I
good
think
point.
I think one thing that I've been talking to a lot of like mutual Mavs fans about is that, and it seems to work throughout NBA history, is building a team that you were successful with. And I'm sort of getting vibes that's what Nico's trying to do with the 2011 team. You sort of have that guy like Dirk, Luca is like centered around the team, and then I would give honestly like there's not going to be like perfect correlations between each player, but it sort of makes sense to me. You got Luca with Dirk. I think what they were trying to do with Christian is get a similar Tyson Chandler, someone who can block and get rebounds, and then Doe, you can put in like a Sean Marion sort of. Your 3 and D. I mean, Sean wasn't a great shooter, but a defensive guy, and Doe's a spot up shooter, can attack the rim. He's athletic, and then I would give Jalen Brunson a Jason Terry vibe, sort of. Uh, Good mid-range game, solid shooter, and then you got Reggie Bullock. You could give the Deshaun Stevenson. There's a lot of similarities that I feel like Nico's trying to build with this team compared to our championship team.
Yeah, I could see that completely. And the only thing I hope we don't do is completely blow it up like we did in 2012. But I agree. I mean, there's a ton of similarities. Other than the fact that like the guys aren't all veterans, we could potentially have this team for a while.
We lost you there, man. But I do agree with you. We could have this team for a while. I don't know if you muted on purpose, but just letting you know. And something I want to touch on, since the draft is tomorrow, I think the top 3 of the draft is going to be really interesting. I have no idea what the order is going to be. Do you have a prediction for the order of that draft? It's Orlando, Oklahoma, and Houston, but I'm saying for the top 3 guys.
Yeah, at first I thought Chet was a lock to go 1, and then I thought Jabari, but now I'm going Paulo, Jabari, and then Chet.
That's interesting. I'd have to go. I'm gonna go Jabari, Chet, Paulo, I think Paulo, if he can land himself in Houston, that's going to be a big thing for Houston, especially because they're in a rebuild probably for the next 3 to 5 years. So that's going to be something interesting for Houston. And then I think Sacramento will get a steal in Jaden Ivey if they can get him. I think, me personally, I think Jaden's the second or third best player in this draft. Like I told you, I don't think Chet's going to be like, oh my God.
Yeah, the guy I'm curious to see is Shaden Sharp. He keeps rising and rising and rising. Like if he goes top 5, don't be surprised.
I don't see it. And I told you this on the last pod. You haven't played a serious game in how many, like 1 or 2 years, and you're a lottery pick. I mean, I get you were number 1 out of high school and everything, but I don't know. I pray for whatever team that gets him. I just don't see it happening. What I do think is going to be some serious competition for the Mavs is the Pelicans. If the Pelicans get Shaden Sharp and they have Zion back and Ingram and CJ, that's a good team. That's definitely a playoff team.
It is. I saw Zion guy. That's nuts to me. But is he actually going to be back by the start of the season?
Yeah, he is.
Wow. Well, then, yeah, they are dangerous for sure.
Yeah, I think they're going to be a big threat in the NBA. And I don't have much else to say. Is there anything you want to touch on, man?
Not at all. We do got to get Jimmy on this podcast, though.
We do got to get Jimmy.
From all things Mavs.
I texted him on Twitter, but Twitter DM shitty. I don't have his phone number, so if you have his number or something and want to reach out to him, I would love to have you guys both on for next week. There's not too many people you can get on here, so no, I definitely love to have both of you guys on next week.
Yeah, that'd be sick. All in the text.
Yeah, awesome. And before we wrap this show up, I tweeted something. It got a decent amount of impressions. Is Jason Kidd better than Rick Carlisle right now as a coach?
Yes, I'm telling you, I knew the behind the scenes about it. Rick Carlisle was not like. That's all it comes down to. Hot take.
Do you give him any credit for winning the championship?
Yeah, I mean that was his peak for sure. But I think you or I could coach that Mavs team, and they're still winning a shit. Dirk was so determined. I'm not trying to knock him. Like he's still a good coach, but he is not. Mavs fans talk about him like he's Pop. Like he's not that caliber. He's not a guy that's liked by players. You never said the further move he is from the Mavs, the more stuff that's going to come out.
Yep, I agree with you there, man. Well, we'll see how draft night goes. It's coming up sooner than later, and free agency is coming up in about a week. And I'd like to see the Mavericks sign Jalen Brunson on July 1st, just so I don't have to sweat it out at night.
Hey, as soon as free agency starts, he better sign that contract.
I hope so. I mean, Mark Cuban sounded pretty confident about it after the Warriors series. There's been a few rumors from Stein and Fisher all about that. So, no, I'm not too worried. But, as someone who loves the Mavs so much, you have the right to get worried. And to see your second option possibly leave would be a pain in the ass for Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be our biggest free agent signing in a long, long time. So, yeah, I don't want to get too expectant, but let's just do the best.
And right before we end the show, I got in a debate about it on Twitter, and I'm saying this to you right now. You could say whatever you want. You could get pissed off. The clutchest player on the Dallas Mavericks roster. No. Okay. You could say Luka. That's fine. The clutchest player on the Dallas Mavericks in game, and this is random, I'm sorry, Spencer Dinwiddie.
How many game winners did he hit this year? Was it 2 or 3?
I remember 2, Boston and Brooklyn. But if you
Yeah, it was
think
2
about
in a
it,
row.
if you think about it, every elimination game, if you go to game 6 against Utah, well, it wasn't an elimination for us, but for Utah, he went off. Game 7, Phoenix went off. In our last game against the Warriors, he had 2-and-1 threes. Like I think he's the
I'm
second clutch player on the Mavs.
I got Luka, but he's a very, very close second. I'll give you that, bro.
Yeah, just something to end the show in a funny way. But I appreciate you coming on, man. It was a good episode 3. Hopefully Jimmy answer your text, because that would be a funny podcast. And he's pretty knowledgeable about all the financial rules when it comes to the NBA, and he has a lot of opinions on Twitter about everything. So no, hopefully we could get him on next week. I'm hoping to have you on as well, and I appreciate you coming on today, man. As always, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, man. I appreciate you for having me, and I'm calling it next week, Mason. There will be a big Mavs trip.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Well, that's all we have for today, and we'll see you guys next week.